So let me ask you a question. Do your dog's ears need cleaning? Could your dog's ears possibly be infected? Let's talk about some tips on how to clean your dog's ears, some common causes of ear infections, and we're also going to recommend two YouTube veterinarians that will help you with some at home remedies. All that coming up in this episode of the Grooming by Rudy podcast.
You're listening to the Grooming by Rudy podcast.
Welcome back to the Grooming by Rudy podcast. For those of you who don't know us, we are father and son dog grooming team with over 55 years of dog grooming experience. And the purpose of our show and the podcast is to teach you guys about dog grooming. So welcome to the show. We are your hosts. I'm Rudy V, along with my son, Anthony Ray. Hey, Ant, how's it going, man? Talking about ear cleaning today, dog ear cleaning. Did you clean your ears at all recently?
I did. Yes.
You did?
I showered right before I came here. Did a little bit of nerve there, I'd say. I feel like I've been taking care of myself a lot more than you have been taking care of yourself lately, especially, I'm kind of getting a quick gander at your right ear here. Feel like I might get poked in the eye. So why don't we back down a notch? But
Well, listen, based on the size of your ears, it probably takes you forever to clean yours as opposed to cleaning my little tiny cute ear.
Well, if we want to switch it on over to cleaning out your nose, that might take you a little bit more time. That's what I'm saying. Just saying, happy Halloween, everybody.
Wow. Well, I can't believe you know
You started that.
but man, as if I'm not as self-conscious enough about my
Okay, that's
freaking
fair.
nose.
That's
dude.
fair. I
Man,
apologize. That might have been a
I
low
did
blow.
not think you were gonna go. What did you just say? Like how long it's gonna take?
Yeah,
to clean?
I kind of used it. Right now it's late July. I used Halloween as like when you'd kind of be wrapping up
Oh,
the process of the nose clean. Do you have a hair trimmer?
yeah, of course.
Oh,
It
yeah.
With this gazapher, you have to have enough. Basically, my nose trimmer is the size of my dog clippers. I gotta get in. I gotta get in there.
Yeah, I have one too.
I'm glad you were not blessed with my nose. Here's the thing, though. I can smell things really well. I will sniff you out. I will sniff you out. Don't ever betray me because I will sniff you out.
You'd be great in like a crime scene,
Exactly,
you know.
like a cadaver dog.
Yeah, he smells crime. Nose man.
Believe we got on the topic of my nose.
Yeah, especially because this is an ear cleaning video, so somehow we made it to the nose.
Yeah, you made it to the
Yeah,
nose.
all right. I
Jerk.
I apologize
God.
somewhat.
All right, well, you win. Wave the flag on that one.
Sorry.
It's all right. Anyway, guys, we got to get into this video. Stop talking about my nose already. But it's very, very important that we clean our dog's ears, guys, because if we don't, all too often you end up with a pretty severe ear infection on your dog. And like in most cases, dogs can't really tell us, or they don't tell us. Dogs just act normal, right? So, one of the things that your dog will tip you off about with when it comes down to ear problems or ear cleaning or ear infections is they'll start shaking their head a lot. It's a very common thing. Start shaking their head like Anthony does a lot when his ears get dirty, or the way I wiggle my nose when my nose gets dirty. But yes, dogs will start shaking their head a lot and possibly even scratching at their ears. It could be a sign of maybe just an ear cleaning, which would be really beneficial if you catch it early. So if you see any signs of your dog just shaking its head more often than normal, or scratching or rubbing their ear along your carpet or the floor, there's a good chance there's a problem starting to harbor there.
The head shaking thing is the easiest thing to notice because it's usually every dog shakes their head a little bit, but when there's something more going on, you'll actually know. This is why one of our biggest things that we always tell you guys is pay attention to your dog. Get always like, we say that a lot when we help you guys find like growths and stuff where it's like, don't just pet your dog, feel your dog. We've said that in the past. So this is one of those things. So, observe your dog from time to time. Make sure so head shaking it'll usually be a little bit more extreme. And when you notice the head shaking, now it's like, oh, is there something going on with their ears? And you look, and then sometimes you'll find discharge where it's like, there you go. It's like now right out of the gate just from observing the head shaking, see some discharge. Now it's an ear infection.
Yeah, definitely. And if you are seeing some discharge, there's a good chance you're going to see like the ruffles of the ear be irritated, red. And another good way of checking is check the other ear, because sometimes it'll start in one ear, so at least you have something to go by. If the other ear looks kind of clear and not as irritated, well, then you know something's going on with that other ear because it just doesn't look right. So you'll see a lot of redness, like Anthony said, some discharge. Another thing you'll notice is that take a little sniff. If you have a big nose like mine, you're going to be able to detect an ear infection way ahead of time.
It's stinky.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
stinky.
yeah.
Some ear infections are so bad you could smell them without even being near the ear, those are the rough ones.
Yes, yeah, yeah. And the worse the odor, the worse the ear infection. Right? I
Yeah.
mean, like if you'll start smelling it. Sometimes if a dog doesn't shake their head and isn't scratching, some dogs won't do that. They won't give you that sign, but you'll probably start to smell it before you see any shaking or scratching too. So again, it just wouldn't hurt to just lift that ear flap and give it a big sniff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And one thing too, because you touched on it for a second, is cross contamination. When you are lucky enough, don't just give up. If your dog has an ear infection, don't just assume, oh, both the ears are infected. That's not always the case, and it's a hell of a lot easier to cure one infected ear than two. So when you go check in the other ear, just be careful not to. Sometimes you wear gloves in extreme cases.
Yeah.
In the shop, we don't wear gloves all the time because the sound of them. The
Yeah.
dogs don't really like it that much. But like
Yeah.
at home, I mean, when if you're inspecting an infected ear, maybe put some hand like clean yourself up a little bit before going and messing around with the other ear, because the other ear might not be infected.
True. Yeah, yeah, definitely. You don't want to cross contaminate. So be very careful when we're working on dogs here at the shop. You definitely got to change. Like whatever you do, don't use the same cotton ball to clean out an infected ear and use it on the other ear that may not be infected. That would be a huge, huge mistake. And I know it sounds like obvious, but I've seen people do it. I've actually seen people do it. So yeah, good point on that. Don't cross contaminate. Another thing is it may not always be an ear infection. A lot of times, especially with your low riding dogs, your corgis, your dachshunds, dogs that are lower to the ground, they'll pick stuff up. If they're running around, playing around, they will pick up they could get like a piece of dirt or a rock kick up in their ears if they're chasing, their fellow dog at a dog park or something. So you have to be very careful. And a lot of times a twig could get kicked up and fall into the ear canal. So again, it's just very, very important to inspect your dog's ears. And if it is something like that, the last thing you want to do is start digging in there and start trying to clean something out. And if there's an object in there, pushing it forward, you could pushing it down into the ear canal, possibly rupturing an eardrum. We have a great video on our YouTube channel called "Can You Rupture a Dog's Eardrum?" We highly suggest go to our regular YouTube channel, Grooming by Rudy, and check out that video because it will teach you a lot about ear cleaning.
Yeah, there was a big myth for a long time that you couldn't rupture a dog's eardrum, and that's why that video is very important. If you do have any questions or concerns about your dog's ears and you've been struggling with maybe keeping them clean, maybe not even an infection, just kind of cleaning them because they smell a lot, just I would go watch that video because you absolutely can rupture a dog's eardrum, and it's a lot easier to do than you might think.
Yeah.
So, without giving too many spoilers away, go watch that video. Come back. We'll wait.
Yep. Exactly. Watch the video. But let's get back to probably the most common reason for an ear infection is usually going to be a yeast infection. We see it all the time. Yes, allergy infections also. Yeast infections are probably the most common ear infection that groomers see, that vets see. And what will really contribute to a yeast infection is just moisture buildup in the ear. For example, definitely don't get water in the ear if you're bathing your dog, or it's going to be more common in a floppy-eared dog, like your golden doodles with the big floppy ears, your Cavalier Spaniels. Any dog with a real floppy, hairy ear needs to, you have to make special note, pay special attention to these types of breeds, because what will happen is with all that hair and that ear flap coming down, it prevents airflow, and moisture will get trapped in there and it will just harbor bacteria, and it will just, enable a yeast infection. So,
Yeah, see, a lot of people think that it's the opposite. A lot of people assume, not everybody, but a lot of people assume that a dog who has shorter ears, that don't have floppy ears, like a Doberman, for example, that would be what allows junk in. And while, yeah, there's no protection there from foreign objects, like you were saying, stuff gets kicked up. Like they don't really have any protection against that. But what they do have, because they don't have floppy ears, is they're able to shake things out a lot easier. And because the ears aren't floppy, moisture doesn't build up in their ears. So it's more of a dry ear concern with a dog like that. And moisture is a dangerous one because that's something that you can do accidentally to your dog just from giving them a bath. If you don't dry your dog properly, if you accidentally squirt water in their ear, floppy ears come down, you might have just given your dog an ear infection. So you got to be very, very careful. That's why we do have some bathing videos as well. Where there's a few techniques that we have to make sure you never get water in your ear, because that's not something that shouldn't happen often. That's something that should never happen because it very, very easily leads to an ear infection.
absolutely, guys. Yeah, and you see on YouTube a lot. You'll see a lot of people flushing or showing you how to flush a dog's ear. I don't recommend that you do that at all. I, in my professional grooming career, I feel, because I've seen people attempt to flush the dog's ear and cause such a problem that leads to big ear hematomas. If you're going to do an ear flush, have your vet do it, have an experienced groomer do it. But in my opinion, you should only have your vet do an ear flush, and stay with this episode here, because we are going to talk about two vets on YouTube that we highly recommend that will help you if you have if your dog has an ear infection. But yeah, Anthony makes a great point. You have to be very, very careful. You don't want to contribute to anything. So even when you're doing an ear cleaning, guys, I don't recommend that you take solution and squirt it down into the ear. If you notice on our videos, what we like to do is you put the solution on the cotton ball, let the cotton ball absorb whatever solution you're using, and then get down in there, because you can always just use another cotton ball if you need more solution and just add more solution. Once you start dumping solution into an ear, it's very difficult to get it out without, like Anthony said, without the dog shaking its head. And usually when the dog shakes its head, it will just shoot all the solution out and it will be ineffective. So again, there's a fine line with cleaning dogs' ears, but I recommend, if you are going to do it at home, just put the solution on the cotton ball and start to swab. You can always add more solution.
Yeah, you got to be really careful. You made a really another really good point with the flushing thing.
Yeah,
If you didn't know exactly what you were doing, you wouldn't try to change the oil in your car, because seems simple, but and it is. But if you don't know how to do it, you're going to blow your engine up. So you bring it to a mechanic and you have them do it. So when it comes to extreme like infections, some ear infections are chronic. When it comes to stuff like that, go to the vet. Also talk to your groomer about it too. That's always a really, really good option. As groomers, we see ear infections all the time. A lot of times we can save you a vet visit by just a nice deep ear cleaning. Not deep, but you know what I mean. When I say deep, I just mean thorough. A thorough ear cleaning um, with cotton balls, the way he was just explaining it, where it's done properly, and sometimes it clears it up. We've seen both. We've seen it where no matter what we do on our end, you're going to need something with medication, or you're going to need a vet, or you do need an ear flush. Do not try that on your own. It's just not worth it. It can lead to a loss of hearing. We've seen ear ablations.
mhm,
Um, because of ear infections, which is, if you guys don't know what that is, we actually did a video on that too. But an ear ablation is basically when they take your dog's ear canal completely out and sew the ear itself shut. Your dog keeps the ear, so it looks normal, but that's it's
No
gone.
hearing.
No hearing whatsoever. So these are all things that, unfortunately, common, very common. Ear infections themselves are pretty common in most dogs, like here and there, especially if your dog has allergies. Floppy ear dogs, especially like golden doodles, they're definitely in fashion right now, although that's starting to cease a little bit. Been a couple of years, thank God.
Yeah.
People need to stop buying golden doodles so much. I love golden doodles. They're some of the sweetest dogs in the world, but people can't handle them.
Yeah.
Don't buy a golden doodle unless you know how to handle a golden doodle.
Yes. There are a lot of work.
So much work that you have to do at home. So it's people just chill out with the golden doodles. I love golden doodles. They're the best, but a lot of work. People don't always feel like doing the work at home. But yeah, you just these things. The ears are. It's a very common issue, but it doesn't always have to be. If your dog doesn't have a chronic ear infection and you're not getting moisture in the ear, your dog probably won't have to deal with many ear infections or any in their life. You might be some of the lucky few, but yeah, just you don't want to mess around. You don't want to make a mistake. The most mistakes with a dog's ear sometimes can be irreparable.
Exactly. And a lot of times, what will happen is we will get people, or groomers will get people who have gone to the vet and got like an ear solution. Usually it's like an antifungal cream, like a clotromazole or something like that. But the owner of the dog will have trouble applying it or doing it. So you bring the solution to the groomer, and your groomer just will use it and administer it and get a better fix on the ear because we're used to doing it. So that could be an option for you too. If you get the medication, you can. If you ask your groomer to do it, usually they're just going to do it for you and help you treat the dog at home. But with that being said, guys, the two veterinarians on YouTube. So I highly recommend that you jump on YouTube. Once again, guys, YouTube has everything. Okay, just jump on YouTube and you can pull up a vet. His name is Andrew Jones. The name of his channel is Veterinary Secrets. He has some great ear videos, some at-home remedies. Check him out. You can also check out our fellow content creator on Bark TV, Dr. Lindsay Butzer. She is an amazing veterinarian. And again, she's on Bark TV with us. So I highly recommend that you head over to YouTube and just check out Dr. Lindsay. She's an amazing vet. And again, she's going to talk to you in more depth about ear infections and how to deal with them.
The great thing about YouTube, guys, is that especially with the vet channels, that's why we wanted to bring the vet channels today to light for you guys, is that a lot of times, not every time, but a lot of times with YouTube, it's very likely that whatever issue you're dealing with at home, somebody else has. It's usually a highly searchable thing. If it is on YouTube somewhere, somebody made the video because a lot of people will click on this not because it's money, it's because this is a common issue. A lot of people get a little bit too, wrapped up in the money aspect. You're just trying to get clicks. Yeah, there's a lot of content creators out there trying to get clicks, but in this niche, the content creators such as ourselves and Dr. Lindsay and Dr. Jones, they make videos because they're going to get a lot of clicks because a lot of people need the help. So the whole point of YouTube, especially in this niche, is that you need help with something. It's very, very possible that millions of other people around the world, 9 times out of 10, are going to have the same issue with their dog. So you're kind of getting like this real life interaction with a vet, a professional who is likely not going to tell you anything different than like your normal vet that you actually go meet face to face. So if granted, yes, if you're desperate and it's an emergency, you don't have time to mess around on YouTube. But if you have questions, like kind of what this show is for, it's to answer some common questions that go around sometimes. Pull up a vet channel, pull up Dr. Jones, pull up Dr. Butzer, Butzer, sorry. Because they likely have a bunch of answers for you. So you might not have to rush to a vet because they might answer something for you in their videos. And we try to do the same thing. So YouTube's a beautiful thing. And sometimes just don't forget that when a video is just because a video gets clicked a lot doesn't mean that that's the only reason the person made it.
Right. And if they did make it, they deserve it because they're doing something that's positive and helping other people. So I hope that this episode helped you guys, especially if you're dealing with any dog infections. And as a side note, the whole time that I've been doing this episode, I have just felt something coming out of my nose the whole time because of what he said earlier. Okay. I can't get it out of my head. I want to scratch my nose so badly right now because of what he said earlier. But again, we want to thank you guys for checking out this episode.
From this point forward, if you have anything wrong with your nose, you got a nose infection, there's your guy right there. That's who you want to go to. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us for this episode. Don't forget to go and check out our other channel, Grooming by Rudy. We have lots of helpful dog grooming tips and tutorials for you over there. Also, don't forget to check us out on PetEdge.com. Take advantage of our promo code. It's Rudy5. You'll save $5 off all purchases of $100 or more. And you could check us and Dr. Lindsay out on Bark TV. If you enjoyed this episode, guys, make sure you like, subscribe, share with your friends. Until next time, take care.